It's a great honor to have you all. I welcome Dr. Shahjahan Pourian, PPAD Chair, to the floor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great honor to welcome you to this celebration, to the outstanding performances that have been done by the MPA and MPP programs by receiving the three accreditation that NASPPA, EAPAA, and ACAPA in the last 2 years. I would also like to extend my warm welcome to President Richardoni, Provost Abdul Rahman, Dean Fahmi, our the deans, associate provosts, faculty, our friends, students, and alumni. Over the past few years, PPAD embraces continuous accomplishments. The first one, it came in 2015 when the MP and MPP programs received the NASPPA accreditation in summer 2025. And this was the first time that these MP and MPP programs within the MENA region got the accreditation. In addition to that, the MP and MPP programs, these were the two programs outside of the third and fourth programs outside of the United States that was accredited. As many of you are aware, that there are 301 members, NASPPA members worldwide, and 179 programs are accredited globally. So that was a great honor for us because that gives us our programs are internationally maintaining international standards. In this summer, in 2017, these two programs received another two accreditations. One is the European Association for Public Administration Accreditation and ACAPA accreditation. The latter one is backed by the United Nations. So the EAPAA accreditation, there are 44 accredited programs within the Council of Europe, and the IUC's MP and MPP programs are the first programs that they accredited outside of the Council of Europe. And this is the first time in the history of public affairs education that these two programs received triple count accreditation. So this is a significant and historic moment for all of us. I'm truly grateful to our very hardworking faculty members, our program directors, our staff, GAP team, particularly our accreditation specialist, our students, outstanding students, and alumni. In addition to that, I also would like to extend my deep gratitude to Dean Fahmi for his continuous inspiration, the university administration for their support with resources. This is how we are here. Without you, we cannot achieve what we have achieved so far. And I hope your support will continue to achieve many more things in order to make us globally competitive. Thank you for the opportunity to welcome you. I hope you will enjoy the evening. Thank you.
We will now play a short video talking about our Public Policy and Administration Department.
For the degree of Master of Public Administration. For the degree of Master of Public Policy.
we've moved over the last 5-6 years from trying to give PPAD exposure to trying to focus on quality of PPAD.
PPAD not only prepares the students to work for the government but also to work with the government.
Up till now, I haven't only gained the topical experience, so for example, knowledge about foreign policy, but I've also gained knowledge about the methods, how to tackle research in such areas as public administration, public policy, as well as global affairs.
It's also cool to go back to school, you know, if you know what I mean, after all these years. So it's kind of challenging, it's intellectually nourishing, if you look at it. Learning in itself is absolutely fabulous, but the way that you get exposed to academic on policy making, on journalism and everything is quite a new world for me. I always knew that it existed, but I've never got my feet wet.
الكيس ستاديز اللي احنا بناخدها او التطبيق اللي احنا بناخده مش مجرد بس نظريات عامة، لا احنا بنطبق على كيسز حقيقية بحيث ان احنا فعلا نستفيد ونعرف نابلاي الكلام اللي احنا بناخده في الكورسز في شغلنا بعد كده.
Our mission in the Department of Public Policy and Public Administration is to support evidence-based policy making and to make sure that our students, once they work in government or in the non-profit sector, they will be able to manage their organizations in an efficient, effective, and responsive manner.
This is a very historic moment for us, for all of us, that PPAD received triple accreditation just after 8 years of the establishment of the school as well as the department. This triple accreditation is a testament to the quality that PPAD offers to its students and to the community.
I've learned a lot about public policy, development programs. I'm taking many economic classes, so I think I'm gaining the basic knowledge that I wanted to gain.
The program is adopting a participatory approach that enables us to communicate more with instructors and to express more our ideas and our theories as well.
I found the program so far very interesting, and it's targeting the main point, which are the policies, to understand what is a policy, how to analyze a policy, how to implement it, how to be a decision maker or a decision taker.
Thanks to the MPA program, I'm now more confident in my skills and abilities to take leadership roles and to make a direct impact on the organization level and on the community level as well.
I just want to congratulate the faculty and the staff for their work, as well as the students and alumni. This is not a success of any one sector in the PPAD family or in the GAP family for that matter. It's really a commitment made by everybody involved, and they deserve the congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Public Administration. For the degree of Master of Public Policy.
now I would like to invite our President, Richard Oni, to deliver his speech.
Thank you, Dr. Shah Jahan. Congratulations to you, Dean Fahmy, all the faculty and staff of the School of Global Affairs and Public Policy, and especially those involved in the two programs that just received the Triple Crown International recognition. It's always, I pinch myself some days when I wake up to make sure I have woken up and that I'm living this, and it really isn't just a dream. To be at AUC is such a special experience. And the few slides we showed there, we can take it for granted if we're here all the time, but I just came from a rollicking good party on the way here with Dean George, Dean of Students, Dean Markey, of the Black Students Association. We have some 30 students from across Africa with their food and their dance and their music. There's an ambassador or two over there, and members of the community from outside AUC coming to AUC because we are what we are. We really are Egypt's global university. We're a hotspot of global, international, intellectual stimulation and activity of the highest order. The Triple Crown recognition merely recognizes the reality that we all get to experience every day and reminds us how special and how unique it is. It's especially important to me as a foreigner who knows a bit about Egypt and has spent some of my life here. I have some inkling of how special and good this place is. AUC is part of the goodness of Egypt, but not everyone outside knows that. I've just come back from a trip to the United States, and if you read about Egypt from the outside, it's not as obvious as it used to be to every little school kid in the United States how special Egypt really is. You can hear about how difficult things are, about the challenges, economic problems, the security issues that plague us all in the United States as well as Europe, but somehow when it comes to Egypt, people just focus on the negatives. And we're a hotspot of positivity, of optimism, of confidence. Again, this Triple Crown accreditation shows that. This is a place where, in a country where people think it's difficult to do anything, especially in public policy and public administration or political science. This month, in 10 days, I'll be in Washington. There's the Middle East Studies Association on political science. And there'll be a lot of criticism and a lot of talk about how difficult things are here. We here in the School of Global Affairs and Public Policy are doing research. We are teaching. We are learning. We are studying global affairs and public policy. We are practicing political science. We are doing things with it, and through this we are learning. If we're young people here, even older people like myself, I hope we're still learning, but we're growing and we're practicing and we're growing in the service of the world really, and of Egypt in particular. So I'm just delighted to be here. I really offer heartfelt congratulations to everybody involved in this great recognition that we've got from around the world. Now 3 separate accrediting agencies that have looked hard at what we do at AUC, at what we do at the School of Global Affairs and Public Policy, what we do in these programs, and found that it's the equivalent, at least, to the best of what anybody in these fields is doing around the world. It's a special thing. It's a big deal. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Keep up the terrific work.
Thank you, President Richard Oni. I now invite Provost Ihab Abdulrahman for his speech.
So I'm an academic, so I have to actually prepare my speech on a paper. I'm not a diplomat. So I'm thrilled to be here today to celebrate the international recognition of our excellence. While those of us associated with EUC and the School of Global Affairs and Public Policy can attest to the school's merit, there is added pride when that recognition is external. I'm proud of the work that the Department of Public Policy and Public Administration has done to reach this point. While achieving the 3 accreditations is an achievement in itself, the fact that we are pushing boundaries in the process is something to be explicitly acknowledged. When GAP received its NASPPA accreditation in 2015, the MPA and the MVP programs were the 3rd and the 4th programs, respectively, to be accredited by the agency outside the US. In being awarded accreditation in 2017 by the European Association for Public Administration Accreditation, the MPA and the MVP programs were the first 2 programs to be accredited by the association outside of the Council of Europe. Similarly, EUC became the first school in the MENA region to be accredited by the International Commission on Accreditation of Public Administration Education and Training, an accreditation body that oversees the quality of public administration education among UN member states. While achieving these milestones is an important step, the real work comes in maintaining these accreditations. To this end, the university is committed to ensure that PPAD academic quality remains intact in the years to come. I hope that these attainments will help to propel PPAD and GAP further up the rankings. I also hope that these achievements will serve to aid in the recruitment of more international students and to open new doors for international collaboration and research. These accomplishments cannot be realized without the support and dedication of the faculty and staff of the department and the school. To this end, I congratulate the countless members of this community who have worked tirelessly to make the school and the department what it is today. The achievement of the accreditation Triple Crown is no small feat. Be proud of what you have collectively attained, and know that pride you feel is shared by your colleagues around the university. Again, and I join the President, I congratulate you on your achievements, and I have no doubt that we will be here again to celebrate new milestones in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Provost. I now, for our final speech, I'd like to welcome Dean Nabil Fahmy.
Thank you very much, President Cardioni, Provost Abdurrahman, colleagues, friends, faculty, students, and guests. Thank you all for being here this evening. As you're aware from the invitation and also from the speech you just given, we're here to celebrate achievements by PPAD, specifically the programs of public policy and public administration, after having been accredited by 3 different associations, originally the North American Association, and then an international one and the European one. I don't want to, frankly, applaud the achievements that much. I basically want to do 3 things. First of all, to thank AUC as a whole. PPAD could not have done this without the collective support we've had from AUC, senior staff, administration, faculty, and the youngest and lowest ranking staff in AUC. This is truly a constructive, collaborative effort, and it started, frankly, with even senior administrators before us. So this is a long-standing project. Secondly, I truly want to thank PPAD faculty, staff, and students. Had they not made the commitment to reach this level of excellence, we would never be where we are today. While we provide support for their efforts, it's really their achievements, their work, their commitment and determination to get us this far. And let me share with you some thoughts about how it started and where I think we should be going. When they first came to me for the first accreditation, NASPPA, I don't like to fail. So I was hesitant, to be honest with you. And I contacted the provost at the time, Lisa Anderson, and she was hesitant. And she said, "Are you sure they're going to pass this test?" I said, "No. I'm, as you know, a practitioner, so I was learning this whole process. And I hate to be judged. I don't like accreditation agencies and so on and so forth. But anyway, I was actually quite hesitant. But the young, emerging, growing faculty at PPAD took on the challenge, and they took on really the NASPPA beast, if I may, head on with confidence and exuberance, and they passed that test without any real strong reservations. There were some requests at what we should do more and so on and so forth, but for a program that was relatively new, it was quite an achievement. We were, just before and immediately after, in the midst, in Egypt, of significant political turmoil with 2 revolutions in 3 years. So after initially starting a project here at GAP and in PPAD on a topic that people felt was purely academic and not necessarily pressing, and you needed to market, suddenly everybody wanted to talk about governance, everybody wanted to talk about public administration and public policy. And our achievements or failures were going to be magnified tremendously in the process. Demand for the programs and for the school increased significantly, very, very quickly, and our numbers grew, frankly, at an alarming pace, to the point where we started to worry about, are we growing nominally too quickly, and will this affect the quality of our product? I was personally invited to a lot of different conferences dealing with public policy and public administration with the most senior, most distinguished academic institutions globally because of the revolutions. They wanted to know what we were doing here in Cairo because this issue became topical here in Cairo. I think we did an excellent self-review. It was in many respects informal, but also pushed a little bit by the administration, that you need to look at how you can sustain the quality with these growing numbers. And we decided to bring down the numbers a little bit in the school and to slow the progression within PPAD itself. So we continue to grow numbers-wise, but in a slower pace. The next challenge, however, was once we became better known, people did not want us simply to be there. They wanted to listen not to the numbers of published research, but actually the content of the public research and how that was affecting what was happening in the Middle East. To provide a good product, and I say this from my different capacities over time, you have to have continuous oversight, continuous review, continuous evaluation. And there's nothing more challenging than to have objective international reviewers coming and testing your curricula, talking to your faculty, talking to your students and alumni. So when Shah Jahan and his colleagues came to me and said, we want to go through the process 2 more times again, I was more confident, but still hesitant. I was confident that these guys had actually succeeded in the big challenge and therefore had the quality, but I wasn't sure, frankly, we had the energy and the ability to focus on getting these accreditations while we were truly trying to develop the content of our programs substantially at the same time. They proved me, I don't want to say wrong, I never admit to being wrong, but they proved that I was being too cautious and succeeded again twice, and they truly deserve the greatest commendations from our part on their determination, their commitment, the discipline in which they went through the process. And I say this, faculty, staff, and everybody who supported them in the process. Question now, however, is what do we do next? Once you're known, people watch you. Once you've been accredited, people evaluate you. We are now going to be held to a higher standard of evaluation, not one as an up-and-coming budding school and with new programs, but one which has been recognized internationally and is duty-bound, and will be compared to other schools in the European context, in the global context, and in the North American context. But I would argue also to do this, to deal with the issue of governance and administration and public policy in the Middle East in this time in particular, where the region is going through a very turbulent phase where not only boundaries are being tested and challenged, but actually the whole concept of the nation state and governance is being tested and challenged. I think what we can all be very proud of is that we've proven to be able to stand up to the test of time. What we need to face now is how can these programs help in contributing to develop a more modern, more tolerant, more compassionate, more transparent, more accountable Middle East, where efficient governance is enlightened, and efficient governance is provided to all of our societies in a fashion that takes into account different points of view, at the same time provides efficient, sustainable governance. Next year is GAP's 10th anniversary, and it consequently is also PPAD's 10th anniversary. Now, I haven't told Provost Abdurrahman or President Ricardoni yet, but we are going to go through our own informal review as a school to see what we need to do and how we move forward. That's going to involve looking at our curricula to see what needs to be done in the present day and age. It's not about, I mean, I will ultimately, I'm sure, come up with a reason to ask for more money and to ask for more faculty, but it's not really about that. It's basically how can we provide a good product for a society that really needs to change and move forward. I have the luxury and the honor not only of coming back to AUC after a long career, but I actually started studying here. And my studies were in physics, mathematics. I'm nowhere near what AHAB is on these subjects because I didn't continue. But I'm in many ways a testimony of the liberal arts education that prepared me for a completely different career, which I did, and then I moved back into administrating in academia. And that's how really we look at these kinds of projects. And that's how all of the GAP members, particularly PPAD, we're here to celebrate, look at the commitment they have made to providing a good academic product and to help changing our environment and our societies to build a more modern, more compassionate Middle East in the future. And thank you all for being here.
I'd like to thank all our guests and speakers for being here tonight. I'd like to welcome you for a picture with the Provost, the President, and the Dean, PPAD faculty and staff, please.